You taught us that our spoken words are non-material energy. When this energy goes through active movement throughout space, I assume that this then will be processed differently depending on what words we speak, whether it is about the ultimate truth, public matters, or private things. I believe that this energy could create different knowledge or environments in society, so I would like to hear from you about this. What a show off! You're asking a skillfully organized question of high quality that shows off your master's degree. What I'm teaching is What I teach is the principle of energy production in grand nature, how energy is produced in grand nature. This universe has changed its form since its creation by a huge energy shift, thereby splitting the universe into heaven and earth. This is the creation. I haven't explained this in detail yet, but separation of heaven and earth itself is the creation. Neither heaven nor earth existed before this creation. Words could not exist without earth. With earth, materials began to prosper, then humans began naming things, and this is the beginning of the history. Before the advent of human beings, there is no word as heaven and earth. They're just by themselves as part of nature. But before the advent of human beings, there was no one to name it. Not even animals could do. They couldn't name even on little things such as grass. But after humans came into the world, they see things and then try to describe what they saw and touched. As they try to describe their feelings, one is named grass, and then each name develops into different languages. Languages vary by local, by regions, and continents, as they develop all differently. Now we have languages such as English and etc., also various dialects and so on. It is time that we should now research and organize all these words in different languages, such as how much has the quality and quantity of words improved. Through the development of languages, humankind has evolved. So, before the emergence of human beings, there were animals, oceans, fish, cells, and etc. living. But these are just only the basic environmental growth. They couldn't even make or name a region. It is the time when humans came into the world, when there were names of everything, including places, and anything else have been created. And this could only happen because the gods, the human beings, came to this planet Earth. Animals cannot manage this material world by making names. But because these gods have come into this world, manage Earth, create environments, establish regions, and make names for each and every little things, humans have developed every environment existing today. That's what has happened up until we achieved 70% of development. Up until now, human beings have made everything. This is how things are made. The names of each race, all historical events and cultures, including who's living where and how they can live, have all been sorted out. We've created and organized everything. These things have now been organized to some extent that after World War II, human beings made systems so that people could travel among countries without difficulty, just by getting the appropriate permission. Furthermore, after the 1988 Olympics, people can go to every country in the world. Now everything is rapidly developing. We can now even travel to communist countries. In some communist countries, people got arrested or even got killed just because they were assumed that they were spy because they were taking a picture at the airport. They just took you at the airport if you try to take a picture. All of that started to change as the 1988 Olympics were held. The year 1988 is very significant. Because of 1988 Olympics, the international community began to open doors, and passageways emerged for culture interchange. The door widely opened. Furthermore, we've now developed into an era where humanity becomes one through the internet. This network has advanced while promoting the communication and electronics industries. This has all been due to the God's efforts. So for the people living this modern days, this is why I'm teaching you this now. How will we manage this environment that has developed until this time? It has evolved thus far, but has never been managed. The question we have is, how will we manage this environment? The gods, the humans, came into this earth. This is why our global village is a special place. This is where human gods live. We have so many planets in the other side of the universe, but have there been gods exist? There is absolutely no reason to go there. There are countless planets, and there are trillions of galaxies. As of galaxy, there are trillions. There are trillions of galaxies, and our own galaxy alone, even, there are trillions of planets in our own one galaxy. Trillions of planets are there. Just planets. So there are so many substances and planets in the universe, but the place where humans can live is only the Earth. This Earth is incredibly well made. It was created by the law of grand nature for humans to develop. And human gods have done their work by coming and going back and forth between different dimensional worlds through reincarnation. This Earth is the command center of the universe. We can do certain work here that we cannot do on the other planets. So after we have developed to a certain degree and fully matured here, and only when we can manage all of the substances of the earth, then we'll be able to handle the universe as the next step. We are able to handle other planets. Also, not only the planets, but we can manage galaxies. We can manage everything. How? Because we're gods. After gods have improved on their development, we're going to begin great work and will operate the universe. They will operate the universe itself. The substances we have discovered so far are only a few of what's out there in the universe. There will be more substances discovered in outer space that we'll manage in the future. This is what space scientists are up for. They're the gods who were sent to Earth for space research. Those who study that field have different thinking patterns in their brains, so they spend their time looking at the sky every night, every day and night. These are science gods who are in charge of that province. They're space scientists. Since daytime is too bright to observe the sky, nighttime is their time. Even during daytime, they try to observe the sky. During the day, space scientists are using sound telescopes to find out what's going on out there with sound. Unlike daytime, they own the world during the nighttime. With telescope, they observe the sky while they're steady. They observe the sky while they're steady because they can't see during daytime. They use sound telescope to hear what's happening outside the Earth. There's such thing as sound telescope. While listening to this, they close their eyes and see the universe. They realize where the sound comes from by capturing its wavelength. Because each sound has a distinct wavelength, with sound wavelength they can read certain information. Why? These gods are now doing what they can do while they have the flesh of the body. They're doing what they cannot do when they're without their bodies. These gods come down to earth to study the movement of the entire universe. This is just the beginning. Up until now, the gods came to earth and developed environments as the process for completing our mission on earth. A physical body can be used and discarded, and the next time, a new flesh can be created. Numerous trees can grow, die, and grow again by seed. But there is a fixed amount of souls. Our souls are limited in numbers in grand universe and never disappear or reproduce. These souls don't produce babies. They don't produce babies. Souls don't. Therefore, the numbers of souls remain constant. And new souls cannot be created. There is no more plus or negative calculation needed. That's why we're so precious beings. There are a fixed number of souls in grand nature. When we're here on earth, it looks like we're in a huge number because we're in a small global village. But it is only a little number if all 7 billion people around the world spread out into space. If we're spread it into space, we say we're about 70 trillion in number. But to operate the grand universe, even if we assign all 7 trillion people to run this entire universe, for a single soul to operate part of the grand universe, each soul would look so scarce in vast, expanded region to manage the cosmos. Comparing the distance between galaxies wouldn't be the same as comparing the distance between the stars. When people sing and write about how that star is my star, it is the correct expression. Even a star is small compared to what we can handle. This earth, the material world that we live in, is a miniature version of grand nature, which exists by itself. This one single space was created, and we call this a planet. For a larger space created, we call it a galaxy. Operating a galaxy, one galaxy, is similar to running a nation. If I explain it another way, one galaxy in the universe is equal to one country on Earth, one nation. Therefore, our galaxy also equates to a nation. How did you name this? What country is that? Naming everything is the gods' work. The gods observed a galaxy and attached a name to it, such as, oh, that's Andromeda. Also, one country comes into being whenever gods name a galaxy. We point at it and say the name for that is such and such. This naming is relatively recent occurs. Naming a nation means that the country has been permanently established. In this way, one nation is akin to one galaxy that manages all the planets within it. So, we're making names like the American continent, and putting one nation's name on the earth is the same as putting a name in the universe. This is the same thing. The name of the Korean peninsula has changed several times, and now its name has been established. In a nation, provinces are named separately, and each regional name is set up, such as Gyeongsangdo and so on. After the fundamental areas have been settled, these areas will connect with provinces around the world. If connections go further, they will go out to the universe and so on. If these go still further, then these go into the grand nature. So this land is the command center. Constructing this land well means we're making a foundation work to manage the universe. This is the global village.